Hi, my name is Cold Beer and let's start with Dune Spice Wars. At the beginning I was really surprised how light this game is. It only requires 4 GB of free space. What is this witchery? And because of that, Dune Spice Wars works incredibly smoothly. Loading times are almost non-existent, and the game itself launches very fast as well, a few seconds and you are in the main menu. I honestly can say that I am not used to this. The game itself looks like a casual 4X title, like Civilization, but it's not. It's a mix of 4X and real-time strategy. You start with your main base and then you have to expand. To do that, you need to explore surrounding areas with your ornithopter and find some resources. I mean areas rich in spice, having which is really nice. It rhymes because spice here is money, and money is nice. That always rhymes. Roses are red, violets are blue, money is nice. See? Anyway, I can recommend the game. I really liked it. Resident Evil 2. This is a complete remake of a classic game. Overwhelmingly positive review score softly hints that it was a complete success as well. Resident Evil 2 offers a fresh take on a classic survival horror saga with realistic visuals, immersive audio and a new over-the-shoulder camera. You will also get modernized controls on top of gameplay modes from the original game. I can still remember when I played the original game when I was 14 years old, and somehow I had my mental balls big enough to play it every evening after school. Well, on those rare occasions when I actually went to school. I'm a YouTuber not because I was very good at studying, you know, but I was good at games. That's why you should avoid me if you need your appendix surgically removed, but if you want your boredom removed, I'm your guy, that's for sure. Clanfolk. This is a city builder set in the Scottish Highlands. As always, you will have to harness your environment to survive. Fish, gather, hunt and farm as you prepare for the winter. Build an inn, trade with other clans, have children and marry them off. You can create your own lineage, you know, a clan of Weeklong ding-dongs. Why not? Or choose from an existing clan, and then take charge of the multi-generational family seeking to survive in the harsh Scottish Highlands. Every member of your family here has their own traits, aspirations, dreams and skills that will probably never become true, you know, because you are in charge and no offense. Anyway, they will care for themselves and for each other, and they will seek to better themselves over time. The game is well received by players, so don't hesitate if you like colony sims. Remnant 2. This is the sequel to Remnant from the Ashes, best known as Dark Souls with guns. The game pits survivors of humanity against new deadly creatures and godlike bosses across beautiful but menacing worlds. Here you can travel alone or with friends as a team and explore strange new worlds and beyond, overrun by mythical creatures while trying to stay alive. There are multiple worlds to explore with different types of creatures, weapons and items. The game has branching quest lines, augments, crafting and loot rewards that will test the resolve of even the most hardened players in dynamically generated dungeons and areas. Most of the players are saying that the second part is better than the first one, meaning that developers learned from their past mistakes and made an actually awesome game. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. Bound to protect a young lord who is a descendant of an ancient bloodline, you become the target of many vicious enemies. When the young lord is captured, nothing will stop you on a perilous quest to regain your honor. Well, except death. Death will stop you many times. Keep in mind that Sekiro is the creation of the same developers as the Souls games, and it's meant for people with masochistic tendencies. If you hate yourself, this game is for you. Although I have one piece of advice on how to easily beat this game. It's very simple. Stop being a noob and get good. Serial Cleaner. Have you ever wanted to clean a crime scene? Yeah, I thought so. I'm not so eager as well. But this game lets us dive into this grim and, by the way, very well paid job. Maybe after playing you will reconsider your career choices. By the way, it's not some official job. Oh no, you work for the mafia and clean crime scenes for them. See, I said that this job is well paid. A good cleaner never gets caught, so you have to make sure you get in, clean up and get out without leaving a trace of evidence for the police to find. The game features a funky 70s inspired soundtrack, real-world data to modify levels according to the current time of day and your whereabouts, full story campaign and even challenge modes. People on Steam are saying that this is simple and chill game with very unique style, although be prepared to rage a little when you will get caught right before finishing the mission. Singularity. Here you'll be a witness of so-called Singularity event that fractured time and threatened the world as we know it. Some say it was the day when everyone forgot the potato salad recipe that bent time and space. A real apocalypse happened. So here, armed with powerful advanced weaponry and the experimental time manipulation device, you'll fight enemies from the past, the present, and the abominations caught in somewhere in between. With the help of this magical device, you will age enemies to dust in seconds, manipulate objects outside the laws of gravity, and degrade things or renew them to their pristine form. You will be a real time bender here. Yeah, like that. Narita Boy. This is a retro-futuristic game where you are Narita Boy, a legendary digital hero in an epic quest of simultaneous dimensions. The digital kingdom is under attack and you are the last hope of survival, so you will have to explore a vast world to find a techno sword, the only effective weapon against the enemy. That sounds nuts and also really cool. People on Steam are saying that Narita Boy has great music and huge variety of monsters and vehicles. You can even ride a floppy disk. How cool is that?
Not as cool as riding your sister.
Oh, come on, don't say that. Although the least favorite part for almost everyone is platforming. Most of the players agree that dying by just jumping is way more common than dying from some monster, and that irritates a lot of people. Also, the story sounds cooler than it actually is. But in general, the game is a proud owner of a very positive review score, and that is always a good sign. DREDGE. DREDGE is not just a fishing game, it's a fishing game with a twist. After dark it becomes a Lovecraftian fishing game. The world around you is teeming with creatures from the void, and when the night sets in, our worlds collide and cosmic horrors enter our realm. Not as scary as your ex-mother-in-law, but still terrifying things. So ideally you want to return to a harbor before the night sets in, so you won't become a dinner for some malevolent demigod of the depths. You can also dock in some safe location and sleep during the night. Of course, it is easier said than done, because the game uses a very cool time management mechanic. If you do nothing, time doesn't move. Like for real, if you just swing on the waves and admire the horizon, you can stay like this forever. But when you start sailing, the timer starts ticking, and at 6 PM Lovecraftian madness starts to settle in. This is a wonderful and honestly kinda relaxing game. Well, except when you go into mangroves. Oh, it's not relaxing at all. Anyway, the game is absolutely 10 cold beers out of 10. A must play. Warpips. This is a quick-to-learn but also very fun tower defense strategy game. You will deploy the right composition of soldiers, tanks, helicopters and planes, compose the best army, research the right tech and overwhelm your puny, pathetic enemy. Although the game may look like a multiplayer thing, it is absolutely a single-player experience made entirely for your personal pleasure. As developers say, if you buy the game, you get the game. No pay-to-win elements, no microtransactions and no pineapple in potato salad. It's a solid game with randomly generated battles that are different every time you play. People on Steam are saying that Warpips is a great relaxing game where you don't want to dive deep in some complicated story and just want to brainlessly push buttons. Unrailed. This is a chaotic railroad construction game where you work alone or way better together with your friends as a team to build a train track across endless procedurally generated worlds. You will master encounters with its inhabitants, upgrade your train and keep it from derailing. That is easier to say than to do, believe me. Chaos will overwhelm you and your bodies more than once. The game is not as dramatic as Overcooked games, for example, but you can for sure understand what will happen if you fail to communicate. This game has pretty good AI as well, so if your friends are dead, or if you are dead to them, then playing this game with the help of friendly AI will be fun as well. Aliens: Dark Descent. In this tactical real-time strategy, you will command a squad of hardened colonial marines to stop a terrifying xenomorph outbreak on a distant, unwelcoming planet. You will lead your soldiers in real-time combat against iconic xenomorphs, rogue operatives from devious Weyland-Yutani Corporation, and a host of horrifying creatures new to the Alien franchise. So here you are, the commander, and soldiers are your weapon. With their help, you will infiltrate large open levels and annihilate enemies with your squad. Tread carefully, as your foes will adapt their tactics to your actions. Monsters will be hunting you down, and the death here is permanent. You know, like the hunger of your cat, or the noises your neighbors make. So if you have a handsome soldier you don't want to lose, you might want to put it behind the others. Although be warned that the aliens can ambush you from behind as well. Dark Descent is an original story filled with iconic xenomorph creatures, ranging from facehuggers to Praetorians, alien queens, and many more. Dark Descent has around 90% of positive reviews reviews, and people on Steam are saying that this is the perfect game for Alien Universe fans, and after the isolation, it's probably the best game about xenomorphs. Hidden Deep. This is an atmospheric sci-fi action game heavily inspired by Aliens, The Thing, and even Half-Life. You will explore, climb, swim, scan, blast, and shoot your way through dangerous missions in a huge sub-oceanic mining and research facility. And you will meet many new friends here as well. They are so happy to meet you that they want to eat you. Yeah, I rhymed that on purpose. I am a poet. Look, there's more.
Roses are red, violets are blue. You spend all your money on games.
Anyway, you can play this game alone or in co-op mode with friends or your mother-in-law, but keep in mind that the game is in early access. If you buy it now and play it now, you can't legally complain about any issues and still look smart, so be careful and read the comments on Steam, you never know. Resident Evil 4. 6 years have passed since the biological disaster in Raccoon City. You are one of the survivors of the incident, and you have been sent to rescue the president's kidnapped daughter. You track her to a secluded European village where there is something terribly wrong with the locals. They all put pineapple into potato salad. I'm kidding, of course, nothing that horrifying. Those people are just crazy. You know, they want to kill you, mutilate your body, and then do something else with it. What a nice place to be, you know? So you will be living this nightmare and you will do your best trying to survive. People are saying that after playing Resident Evil 2 Remake, it was hard to hope that anything can be that level of awesomeness, but Resident Evil 4 does miracles. It is worth your money on sale, off sale, in between sales, in between boobies.
Wait, what?
Shut up. Players are saying that this remake is just excellent, and you know, I can only agree, this game is awesome. Iratus, Lord of the Dead. This is a turn-based tactical roguelite RPG set in a dark fantasy universe. You'll have to lead an army of undead to reach the surface world and bring death to the mortal realms. You know, they lack death on the surface, so you are ready to supply the demand. So you will control an obedient army of the living dead. You know, all the classic monsters. Skeletons, zombies, banshees... other unliving warriors, I swear, I know more. And you will create your soldiers the only way a necromancer knows how, from the body parts of your slain enemies. Iratus definitely has a high replayability due to different minion composition in your team. Also, there are multiple different pathways to take when it comes to finishing the game. The main story will take up to 12 hours of your boring life. Blasphemous. This game is a true work of art. I don't think that any of you will argue with me about that. Art-wise, this is one of the best examples of Metroidvania and Souls genre collision. Interesting thing is that the major influence of Blasphemous' story and design was the religious art of the city of Seville in Spain, and also works of famous Spanish painters, especially Francisco Goya and his 200-year-old painting called A Procession of Flagellants, or Flagellants, I have no idea how to say it. If you want some nightmares before bed, just Google Goya's paintings. They are as great as they are creepy. People on Steam are saying that the game has incredible dynamic music and amazing voice acting. Also, some dudes are seriously stating that Blasphemous was a gateway drug to a 2D indie platformer games from AAA Souls-likes, so it can really expand your horizons, but mostly here you will just die and die again. Monster Hunter World. You'll take on the role of a hunter and slay ferocious monsters in a living ecosystem, where you can use the landscape and its diverse inhabitants to get the upper hand. You can hunt alone or in co-op with up to 3 other players, and use materials collected from fallen foes to craft new gear. There are 14 different weapons at your disposal, each with its own unique characteristics and styles of attack. Many hunters acquire proficiency in multiple types, while others prefer to attain mastery of one. Monster Hunter World has 87% of positive reviews on Steam, left by more than 200,000 players. Incredible achievement. Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey. This is a really original and truly amazing game where you play as an ape. Yeah, your journey starts 10 million years ago, and by then we still shared our ancestors with gorillas and chimpanzees. Our last common ancestor with the apes, chimpanzees to be exact, is known to be roughly about 5 million years old. So you start as an ape and over the years evolve into an early human. The whole game spans from 10 million to 2 million years ago. Your task is for you and your tribe not to die and not to choose the path path of extinction. The future of humanity is in your hands, like literally. As developers say, evolution was not written in stone. Your decisions will shape how you will overcome obstacles, increase your species, and what knowledge you will pass on to future generations. You can focus on specific attributes or choose a more balanced approach to survival. Your clan's ability to survive will be directly impacted by your decisions and choices, making each player's experience a unique one. It's a wonderful game reminding us that we are just starting to go on our evolutionary path as human species. 2 million years is nothing. Dinosaurs existed for 165 million years before they all died out, except the birds, of course, add another 65 million years to that big number. That is a huge difference, not as huge as your mama though. IXION. Propelled onwards through a perilous journey, you are the administrator of the mighty space station, charged with finding a new home for humanity. Keeping the station sound and flying will require a firm hand and strategic thinking. You are constantly pulled between maintaining hull integrity, bringing in new resources, and managing power consumption. What choices will you make when confronted with impending disaster? What will you discover out there in the dark? Probably nothing good. We all know that Borg is somewhere out there. Empires of the Undergrowth. You will become an ant daddy or an ant mama, and you will help them excavate nests underground, construct tunnels and chambers to store food, and raise the brood. You will control a variety of warrior ant species and wage battles, and command your workers to build and supply your base. Also, you will have to protect your queen at all costs, at the same time navigating the threats and opportunities of the insect world. Missions are narrated from the perspective of a documentary filmmaker who is studying the ants. He offers intelligent insight into the happening of the colony and the undergrowth beyond. Yeah, sadly it's not Attenborough, but you get the idea. People in the Steam comments are saying that it's very fun to play, although it can be hard and frustrating at times. You know, ants are kinda dumb, just like your cousin, but once you get the hang of it, it is a really fun game to play. The review score is above 90%, meaning that this may be the game you were looking for all along. CryoFall. This is a sci-fi colony simulation survival game set on a forgotten planet in a distant future. You will join the world together with other survivors to rebuild your civilization from scratch. Start with primitive technology and simple tools, and use them to progress towards modern industrial might and even beyond, eventually reaching space-age technology only seen in science fiction. So it's a science fiction game where you seek to achieve some science fiction. CryoFall can be played either as a relaxed player versus environment experience with no competition, or as a brutal and unforgiving PvP. Make your choice and join one of the many available servers with different game modes, or host your own and invite your friends to join you. However, it's important to keep in mind that CryoFall is not for the faint of heart. The unforgiving environment can be brutal, and you might find yourself in situations where even a tardigrade would be jealous of your survival skills. World War Z. Humanity is on the brink of extinction. From the Americas to Europe, the undead apocalypse continues to spread uncontrollably, and as the inevitable end looms, a hardened few band together to defeat the horde and outlive the dead. So basically all you have to do is to find a lot of canned food and wait for a month or so for every zombie to rot. But no, this is not what you will do, because otherwise this would be a very boring, lame food tasting game with, you know, survival elements, because, you know, not every canned food is survivable. This game is nothing like that. World War Z is a co-op third-person shooter for up to 4 players, featuring swarms of hundreds of zombies. Based on a famous movie with Brad Pitt, the game focuses on fast-paced gameplay while exploring new storylines from all around the world. If you like zombies and shooting, keep in mind that the game has very positive reviews and it's probably a good match for you. Starship Troopers Terran Command. This game has a model similar to the Arbillions, where you defend from the hordes of enemies and try to keep your base alive. Also, here you can literally relive the best moments of the Starship Troopers movie by defending your base from hordes of ladybugs. Anyway, here you'll encounter dozens of unique insect types, each with their own special abilities and skills. Also, the map has terrain elevation, true line of sight, and true line of fire, providing deep tactical gameplay, meaning that units that stand behind other units can't shoot unless they stand on a higher ground. Sadly, you can't play as an alien insect. It's not off the table completely, developers say, but now you can only play as a military human society. That's it. If you are wondering if you can build a base here, yes you can, but it's not the main focus of the game, I would say. Despite that, it has a very positive review score on Steam, and many commentators are stating that if you like Command & Conquer or StarCraft, you must try Starship Troopers as well, so do not ignore it. Marvel's Midnight Suns. You'll become the Hunter, the first fully customizable original hero in the Marvel universe. You can personalize your appearance, choose your reactions to situations, and build friendships with other Marvel characters spanning the Avengers, X-Men, Runaways, and so on. Like in many similar games, you will decide who to take with you on missions, which missions to embark on, and a host of other options to make this a unique experience. The game is made by the creators of the legendary XCOM series, so there is no surprise that the game has a very positive review score on Steam and is appreciated by Marvel fans and by turn-based lovers as well. For example, I liked superhero movies, but when they started to make like 7 of them every year, I stopped watching, and I have no idea who half of these superheroes in this game are. Shadow Tactics: Blades of the Shogun. This is a hardcore tactical stealth game set in medieval Japan around the Edo period. You will take control of a team of deadly specialists and sneak into the shadows between dozens of enemies. Choose your approach when infiltrating mighty castles, snowy mountain monasteries, and hidden forest camps. Set traps, poison your opponents, or completely avoid enemy contact. Game has an overwhelmingly positive review score, meaning that for this price it is a masterpiece. Although keep in mind that the game sometimes may prove to be insanely difficult and some missions are beyond hard to crack. So be sure that you have not forgotten how to use that tiny, not very important organ between your ears, because you will need it more than ever. People on Steam are talking that if you like classic Commandos or Desperado 3 for example, this game for sure is your spoon of potato salad. They are billions. It's impossible not to love the visuals of the game. Such nice details are usually not present in the games where you look at things from afar. So it's a strategy game set in a distant future about building and managing human colonies after a zombie apocalypse destroyed almost all of humankind. Now there are only a few humans left alive that must struggle to survive under the threat of the infection. Billions of zombies roam around the world in massive swarms seeking the last living human colonies. So you must build a town and protect it from zombies. This is a simple and genius idea. Well, it's surely not new. Similar missions of building and defending your base against swarms of enemies were implemented even in the first StarCraft in 1998. I'm not saying that you will enjoy this game for a long time, but in a short period it is a great vaccine against boredom. Just don't let that single zombie slip in. One zombie is all it takes for your city to burn. Be careful. They are billions, but you are the last of us. And now, thank you for watching, and don't forget that in my channel you can find hundreds of videos like that with new ones released almost every day. Have a nice day and I'll see you next time. Bye.